Good morning and welcome to Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead. We are going out to assess the poverty field today, and I just wanted to show you where that was from our front porch. So I'm standing on our front porch and we've got our herb garden we've been tilling up and our driveway, but over here to the right, we got the chickens still working on the field and the horse, and just behind the horse is the poverty field, and that's a small field that we leased from the neighbors that we're trying to improve. So let's see if any of our farming practices that we used last year was able to improve that any, and we'll put up a little link to what we did last year on top of this video, and we'd love for you to like and subscribe. Okay, we're down in the poverty field, and there is still a lot of broom sedge on it. Right here is where the chickens were last, so it's not had a chance to green up. But you can see right here where I'm standing is all the beautiful new grass. And it's still way early in the spring here, so really the good spring grass hasn't come up yet. But you can see this whole side of this field, there is a change. We got 1/4 where that broom sedge is right there. That has not made a big difference, but it will. We're going to go ahead and mow that down, let it feed, and put the chickens back on it. They're coming right back over here after they get done in the garden. We've about got our trailer full, and we're going to trim these trees way back, but we need the chainsaw, and Daddy took the chainsaw with him. We got all this bank done, and this behind the tractor is mostly just briars. So we're either going to get the goats in here or the weed eater to get this all knocked down before it starts turning real green. But it's starting to look good out here, some progress. Oh, and here's the big news. That little grove of pine trees. Pine trees make the acid in the soil go up. So that's why you don't ever have things growing under pine trees, because it's too acidic. Well, right in front of the pine trees is 2 little fruit trees, and they can't hardly grow because of the pine trees. We got permission today to cut those pine trees down. Now, normally I don't like cutting trees, but these just sprouted up in a field that used to be a garden, and we're getting rid of these trees to allow the trees that we want them to grow. So those trees are going to go say bye-bye in just a few weeks. And we're very excited about that. And we're going to take all those pine needles and things, blueberries are right there beside of them, and put that around the blueberries, because the blueberries is the one plant that loves the acidic soil. So that's coming up. Here's a little bit better of a picture of the little grove of pine trees. And right there in that corner is our persimmon tree. And the reason we put a persimmon tree there is because years ago when we bought the land, the deed said that there was a persimmon tree for that corner. So we planted that one, and it was a little tiny baby when we planted it, and it now has persimmons on it. So, but getting rid of these pine trees will actually help that tree too. So, you know, this is a small field, maybe half an acre once we get it all cleaned up, and a lot of people would not even mess with this amount of acreage, but we're a small farm. Our homestead sits on 5 acres, so a half an acre is a treasure to us. Well, all land is a treasure, but it's worth it to us to gain another half an acre to be able to put the horse on. This will eventually be a beautiful green pasture, half an acre pasture, just for the horse. And then when she's off of it in the winter, we will put the chickens back on to do some more fertilization. So I believe that God expects you to take care of all your property, and even property that is borrowed. So we're back on another morning, and we've got a few more trees to pick up. We left the stumps kind of high because we have a loader tractor that might be able to push over some, get the roots out and everything, but the rest that we can't get up, we're just going to cut off at the ground, because this soil here is so acidic that it's not going to grow anything for a while the roots on those trees are rotting. So looks like we got us a couple trailer fulls.
Soft tooth scope. There was nothing soft about that tooth. One got like 4. I used every single one of them. I mean, I got scratches down both hands. Well, I was like, man, that hurt for, him to go me. And no, it was oh my gosh, Daddy, really. Petey's surfing on his homemade pine surfboard. It's got a little rough on around the edges, so we're not done trimming it yet.
We got all the brush, or most of it, cleaned up. Now we got the stumps to see what we can pull out and the ones we're going to cut off. We've got stacks of firewood, and I cut off a lot of the tops of the branches because every year I put pine needles around my blueberry bushes, and blueberry bushes just right over there.
And we left the biggest, healthiest one, and so we're just getting all the little ones that had sprouted out around from the bottom of it. So the big one, he'll be able to grow and become a mature tree, and then the little ones, they're going to have to go bye-bye so he can do that. We got 2. Uh-oh. Chain slipping. Chain slipping. And back we go. He's lifting the tractor up off the ground. Man, look at that. That is a stout little tree right there. Good gracious.
We've got a great bit of work done this morning, and we are done with this area. We had to cut down, I think, 8 trees there, and we'll probably dig them out next fall after they've rotted some. And we got the pine needles around the blueberry bushes, and the pine tops around the other blueberry bushes. And out here, Righteous, he's already moved one bale of hay by hand, but Joey's got the loader out there and he's moving the other two and spread them out with the loader. And we got this little area right here. We're going to mow, leave it laying to feed the soil back. It doesn't look like it's unrolling too good, but it's still better than by hand. Oh, and Righteous mowed the whole field and just leaving it lay, letting it feed back to itself. There, it's going off. Now that he's mowed, you can see that green spot out there where the chickens were. Now, if you ever have any doubts about what a little bit of hay can do, now this is the worst part of the field. We've just rolled out the hay bales on it, and so they're going to feed. But a lot of people don't think, oh, that's not going to feed much. But notice the color. This has just been cut, so it's short because it's been cut, but notice the color. Now, I'm going to pan right over here. Right there is where that hay bale was sitting. Nothing but black dirt under it. And look at the grass that it fed by just sitting there. So, no, the thinner strips is not going to feed the soil as much as one bale sitting there, but it will decompose and there'll be worms underneath it. And then as soon as the chickens get done with the another field, they'll be over here pooping in it, mulching it up, and working on it again. So it won't be very long to where we won't be able to call this the poverty field, because it's already starting its change after one season.